And we're going to do live time cooking. It's Oktoberfest, yes? So if I say it's Oktoberfest, you say yeah, right? Is it Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
Excellent. So we're going to do things a little backwards here because we're going to do this in real time. We need to plan accordingly. We know that the red cabbage takes the longest to cook. So we're going to begin doing that. So one of the first things that Risa has to do is she has to dice up an onion. And do you want Olaf to help with the bacon?
Yes.
So Olaf also has to dice up some bacon. They're going to be fried up together over a hot fire. Now, unlike your own stoves at home that you can turn up the heat or lower the heat, you know how we cool and heat up our oven? We add more wood or we take away more wood. So we need to make sure that that is very, very hot for us to use because we want to make sure that things are going. We also have a pot of oil for the Wiener Schnitzel. We have a pan of melted butter for the Wiener Schnitzel, and we have a pot of hot water with salt in it for the Spätzle. So we have that all going on right now over our very, very primitive stove.
Yes.
Excellent. Oh, you forgot the salt, eh?
No.
Excellent. What would these children do without me, eh? So they're working very closely and hand to hand together. What they're going to do, when she's done, they're going to add it to a cast iron pot, much like a Dutch oven. And we want to make sure that Olaf puts the bacon in first and not the onions first because the onions are going to burn if they don't because the pot is very, very hot. Nope, just the fat. Now the challenge with this is if you have a vegetarian, you can make this dish. You got to make sure you have enough olive oil to saute the onions because without the fat, everything's going to stick and it's going to get very, very bad very, very fast. We're using bacon in this because nobody here is a vegetarian and we all like bacon. Is there anybody else out here like bacon? You say
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. You folks run fast. So now we got the onions and the bacon sauteing right now. And so what we have to do now is while that's being worked on, I'm going to ask Olaf to keep an eye on the bacon, the onions, and have him stir occasionally. And what Risa's going to do is she's going to dice up the red cabbage.
I thought I had to finally shred it.
Yes, so you can shred it. I grew up chopping my red cabbage, so it's stringy. But what Risa had pointed out is that we're actually going to dice it so that it's a little bit finer. Shredded, excuse me. She also shreds differently than I do, but that's something entirely different. She's very opinionated, that's why she's my assistant, because she'll tell me I'm wrong. So we want to make sure it's a nice even cut because last thing we want to do when we make our red cabbage is we don't want things overcooked and things undercooked. So we want to make sure that it's all very uniform. And Risa's doing the best job she can.
We only have half an hour!
Cook faster! She's a lippy one, isn't she?
Nothing new.
Nothing new. All the same, all the same. For Christmas, just remember Alice the cook would like a larger cutting board for Christmas. We used to have one. I have no idea where it went.
I know!
Long one down there.
You got a long one? No, she wants a big one. We had a big one. It disappeared. I don't like cutting on the table.
No.
All right, how's the bacon and onions? Is it frying nicely? Excellent. So what she's going to do when she gets that done, while she's chopping that, what we have off to the side is we have a cup of apple juice and a cup of red wine. We're using a 7 Blanc with a Merlot mix. So we're going to combine those two with a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg that we actually hand shave, as well as about 6 cloves. Also what she's going to do, while she's doing that, let's come over here.
Why are you leaving?
Because we need an apple.
Oh, fine.
Oh, fine. And what we'll end up doing is when she puts everything on, this will have to be peeled and quartered. We don't have to seed it because the seeds will float to the bottom. It won't be used, but the apple is also an important part of the dish. This is a Fuji apple. It doesn't classify what type of apple is needed, just something that will hold its own. Last thing you want to do is put a red Washington in it and have it just disintegrate.
You do want more of a sweet apple, but not ones that are traditionally used.
Yes. So you want a good baking apple? I like Braeburns. Let's put that on. Yes. We're running out of time.
I only have half an hour.
There. Put it all on. Now tell them what to do.
My other one is more lovely.
I know, but that's the one that's going to be done. All right. So she's going to add this to the onions, the bacon, and then what else do we have? We have the apple juice. We have the red wine. Olaf can actually cut up the nutmeg. You want to make sure that you're using a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, not a 1/4 nutmeg like Olaf thought. No, this is for the red cabbage. Because if you have a 1/4 nutmeg and you eat that, you will go blind. So we don't want to use that much. We only want a 1/4 teaspoon. Can you say with me? 1/4 teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon. Say it again. 1/4 teaspoon. Excellent. That way you'll remember. You could also die if you have a 1/4 nutmeg. So we want to make sure. It kills your brain cells and causes hallucinations. And that's your brain cells dying. So you want to make sure that you're not over nutmegging anything. Excellent. So she's going to dump that in there. You already have the apple juice and red wine. Excellent. We also want to make sure if you see Risa's skirts, how they're shorter than a lot of the ladies out at festival, it's because the number 2 reason that women died during the Renaissance is they caught on fire from their cooking fires. And so we make sure that if she's cooking or I'm cooking, we make sure that our skirts are up high, because last thing we want to do is be put up like a torch.
That would not be fun.
That would not be fun. So she shows her bloomers like a saucy girl she is.